Hello and welcome to the Public Global. I am Jalil Rathod. After the leader of opposition in the parliament, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, unveiled the alleged manipulative exercises undertaken by the Election Commission of India to help a particular political party win elections, the commission has surprisingly taken down its website, which gives a strong reason to believe that the allegations leveled by Rahul Gandhi might be true. Today, in the backdrop of Mr. Rahul Gandhi's recently held press conference, in which he strongly alleged about non-partisan functioning of Election Commission of India to favor a ruling party, it seems that these claims have raised serious concerns about the electoral process in the country. Before moving ahead, it will be worthwhile to draw the attention of the viewers towards the delimitation held in Jammu and Kashmir before the elections were held last September. Uh, the constitution, the amendment in the constitution says that the consensus will be held. The delimitation will be held after the census is conducted in 2026, but they were in hurry to conduct delimitation in Jammu and Kashmir, as a result of which 6 seats were increased in Jammu division, whereas in Kashmir only one seat was increased. This raised a lot of concerns because it was felt that Jammu is the bastion of BJP, and that was the reason that 6 seats were increased over there. And in that comparison, only one seat was increased in Kashmir, and the delimitation was done with a purpose before the schedule. Now, coming to the Rahul Gandhi's press conference, we'll have to go back to the last parliamentary elections. When parliamentary elections followed by the assembly elections were held in some states, the opposition parties alleged about heavy rigging in the elections and blamed the Election Commission of India of non-partisan approach and in one way or the other colluding with the ruling party to help it in winning the elections. Now, moving to Rahul Gandhi's recent presser, it may prove to be a turning point to India's democratic journey. In a nation where electoral processes are often hailed as the bedrock of our republic, he described it as a calculated and widespread manipulation of 2024 general elections. Terming it as a vote chori, he did not rely on emotional appeals or vague insinuations. Instead, he presented specific data, patterns, and methods allegedly used to distort the people's mandate in favor of a ruling party and thus accusing the Election Commission of India of either failing in its duties or actively collaborating in subversion. Gandhi outlined five concrete methods through which this alleged electoral fraud was carried out. These included the addition of over 1 crore suspicious voters, especially in Maharashtra, where inflated voter rolls skipped margins in several key seats. He spoke of deletion or destruction of CCTV footage at polling booths, which he termed as a critical breach that denies forensic transparency. He also pointed out to Election Commission's refusal to share voter list data with the opposition candidates, effectively blocking any independent verification. Moreover, thousands of genuine voters were mysteriously dropped from the rolls, while fake entries were allowed. Finally, Gandhi noticed that specific seats were micro-targeted, inducting strategic tampering rather than technical error. Even if partially accurate, these allegations strike at the constitutional legitimacy of the India's electoral process. Rahul Gandhi's tone was not at all sounding to be bitter, but that of a responsible leader of opposition with a significant position he occupies as defined by the Constitution of India. Now, moving towards the response of Election Commission against Rahul Gandhi's allegations. It has demanded a formal affidavit and evidence from Rahul Gandhi. While such procedural steps were expected, they also raised some questions. One, why did the Election Commission of India not act earlier when such complaints were already surfacing? We all know that opposition parties were running from pillar to post, raising their suspicions, raising their complaints, or complaining about irregularities, or complaining about violation of code of conduct. But the Election Commission of India put a deaf ear towards their complaints and did not hear them, and thus the allegation of working in a non-partisan way seemed to be correct to some extent. Uh, Two, why were opposition concerns dismissed instead of being investigated transparently? Now, in the backdrop of situation that has emerged after the press conference of the leader of opposition, the burden now is not just on Rahul Gandhi to prove his claims, but also on the Election Commission of India to resolve to end and resolve the issue and restore its credibility. If Rahul Gandhi is able to frame vote Chori as people's issue rather than a party complaint, it might trigger a new wave of political consciousness among the voters, particularly the young voters and or the voters who are going to vote for the first time. Now, talking about the challenges, there are some serious ones which are very difficult to face with. To face with the mainstream media coverage is one big factor which has leaning towards executive. On the other side, institutions are under pressure while political fatigue runs deep. Yet the seriousness of this movement cannot be ignored. As an ordinary analyst, having observed our democracy for years, it's clear that this was not an ordinary press briefing. This was an intervention based on democratic duty. Rahul Gandhi, through his claims, is not only challenging the ruling party's political strategy, he is challenging the nation to wake up before procedural democracy ceases to exist. This is no longer about seats won or lost. It's about whether citizens are still living in a system where their vote determines their future. He may not win applause from all quarters. He may face resistance, ridicule, or institutional pushback. But history often favors those who speak the uncomfortable truth at the right time. Whether his call sparks reform or is buried under the headlines which depend on how civil society, the judiciary, the media, and ultimately the people respond to his revelations and his claims. If India still considers itself the world's largest democracy, the vote Chori cannot be just another political slogan. It must be a national alarm bell. With that, today's episode comes to an end. We'll be meeting soon again. Till then, goodbye.